Right then, we're back, people, for another vlog. So I'm now having the usual pre-workout, which I've had for the past 4 days in a row. In fact, pre and intro has been the same. So I'll take a huge bottle of water. I'll kind of sip on that on the way to the gym and during the workout, obviously after having plenty of fluids throughout the day. Typically, I'll have a black coffee, but actually today I had that hours and hours ago, so I didn't bother having another one because I've actually just been to the hygienist on the way to the gym. So obviously I didn't want to have like black coffee and leave stains in my teeth like that. So gave that one a miss. Then this is the staple every single day. Pre-workout, intra-workout, water plus Gatorade, and then pre-workout as well, which I kind of have half of this now and then half of it the first sort of 5-10 minutes of the workout, 0-calorie Red Bull. And then I'll also have the ham and cheese toasties, which they heat up for you there in 7-Eleven. So depending on how hungry I am, I'll either have one or two. So today, I mean, I'm still fasted other than I've just eaten those. So I was just a little bit more hungry today, which means that after the gym, I will just have slightly less calories, pretty much. It's quite simple. So yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this now. This was, I think it was like, sure, it's like 12 bar or something, which is probably like 30p or something crazy. And it's just this really lovely Nutella pancake. It's just so good, like so fluffy. So, lovely. So I'll finish this, have my Red Bull. And then we're gonna absolutely fucking destroy some arms. So yeah, stay tuned. Right, we're all warmed up, all carved up, done my rotator cuffs, everything like that, and then chuck the rope on here. We're gonna go full stack. So I'm gonna try to get 6 to 8 reps full stack and then just see how that takes me. I'm not gonna do any close grip bench press today because I've still got insane upper chest DOMs. And obviously, even though I'm doing a close grip press, still gonna work my chest a little bit. So that's also a nice incentive to look forward to chest, which will be in minimum 2 days, depending on if I take a rest before then, but legs tomorrow, unless I take a rest. Anyway, let's try this first set, see how many we get. Should be good. That's good. That was almost 8 clean and then a couple sort of partial reps there. Perfect for first set. Not for many more than that though. So I'm gonna drop it by 2 notches, which is about 6 kilos. And then we'll see how many can get on that. Hopefully more like 10 on the next one. Yeah, good first set. All right, set number 2 on this one. I've dropped the weight by, I haven't dropped the weight yet actually. I'm actually gonna drop it by 1, change my mind, so almost full stack. Let's try and get 10 on this one, a little bit quicker.
Okay, that was another good set, but definitely heavy. So I do like it heavy, but if I'm failing on like the 10th rep, I think now's another good time to change it. So we'll drop it one more and then third set on the go. Set number 3. Let's fucking rip it, boy. Nice. I'm gonna keep spamming these for a while. At least 2 more sets. I think another drop, honestly. I'm still feeling really, really good, but yeah, I think a drop would just engage those triceps a little bit more, and obviously that's the name of the game, so drop it by 1, 4th set on the way. So I will often alternate whether I do biceps and tricep first. I don't really have a set kind of routine or plan that I stick to when it comes to selection, but today I wanted to start with triceps because there's not any bicep machines that are appealing to me. So what I would have probably started on would be incline curls. I am also planning on doing some standing dumbbell curls, but I only ever finish with those because I'm very strong on them, so they're not an exercise that I think is comfortable to do with a lot of weight. I think it's nicer as a finisher accessory, so I'd prefer to be pre-fatigued from doing incline curls and then move on to that later. So in essence, I don't really want to start with incline curls today. Just feel like I'd rather get some blood into my arms overall and then move on to that one. Also, if I do choose to do more volume today, I would assume it'll be on triceps because, as I said, there's only really 2 exercises that I'm inclined to do on biceps today, pardon the pun, and that's incline curls and standing dumbbells. If they had a preach curl machine, or if they had an incline curl machine, or if they had an easy bar that I could put weights on, that'd be very different. And I don't fancy doing cables just for a little bit more time because, as I said in the last vlog, I've been doing a hell of a lot of cables recently. So yeah, ropes going well. I am planning on doing some single arm push downs and definitely some overhead stuff. So yeah, about another minute and then I'm going to start this 4th set of push downs. Right, last set then. Already starting to get a bit of a pump, can't lie. So let's keep it going. Alright, let's go. High rep on this one. Right, let's do some biceps. Yeah, nothing too exciting go down here, just a simple set of incline curls. These dumbbells, unfortunately, they're very wide, so you can see here, in my opinion anyway, maybe it doesn't translate on camera. So basically what that means is, when I'm doing a set of these, I'm going to try and really keep my knees tucked in basically. So what that's going to do is means that I won't have to have my elbow so far out, because obviously I've got to have space between my thigh and the dumbbell. So ultimately it'd be much better if I had access to smaller dumbbells, but I'm really not complaining. Just for those of you guys that might be dealing with something similar, or if you're traveling, you've got different dumbbells, etc., just a little tip: keep your legs a little bit more parallel, and that should be a bit more comfortable on your elbows pretty much. So let's see how this one feels. Let's just go for it. 22.5 kg. Oh, that set was not good. Fucking hip cramp. Right elbow has been a little bit tricky for the last few sessions of arms, but the one I did recently at the hotel gym seemed absolutely fine. So I've only got up by 2.5 kg, so it shouldn't really make much of a difference, but weird. And then aside from that, kept hitting my bottle. Oh. So I want to fucking keep it there. I can't be asked to drop it. The last 3 sessions I've done here, I've just felt all really good, like really clean weight, consistent, everything felt smooth, but this arm day's feeling a little bit ropey, which I know some people say like arms is easy, just get in there, you know, curl some stuff, press some stuff, but to me, back's the easiest, chest and shoulders second easiest, and then probably arms, then legs, as in easiest to actually like have a consistently good workout even if you're not feeling 100%. So I'm going to still try and keep it like controlled and stuff, and not just go apeshit crazy in the wrong sense. But by the time I get to like the last half an hour of the session, if I don't feel adequately pumped up, I might just go for a fucking free-for-all and just rip like 1 or 2 sets on some random weights and just get a crazy pump. Because past few months I've been quite open with my style of training, but recently I have been wanting a little bit more structure, not crazy amounts of structure, and nothing that I'm absolutely forced to stick to, but I do want to be tracking my weights a little bit more and make sure I'm training body parts a little bit more evenly. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm going to do another set on these. It's just annoying, like I'm going to blame it on my dumbbells, to be honest. I know it sounds ridiculous, but like I said, having to pull my elbow further out even though I'm trying to keep my legs in, I think that's just putting like a weird strain on my tendon there. So we'll go one more, see how that goes, and what I might end up doing is doing one more set and then doing a couple sets of just fully seated alternating curls like that. That might be a bit better, but yeah, I'll let you know. Right, let's hope this second set's better than the first one, because that did not feel good. Yeah, they're feeling like shit, but at least we've got 2 sets done. What I'm gonna do is stay seated, but move the back squat up a little bit, and then just go for some single arm alternating. I think that'll feel a lot better on my elbow, and with the fucking ridiculously long dumbbells.
Alright, so microphone actually cut out for this one, and there's a later clip in the video which I'll do a voiceover for as well, but just talking about this one here. So obviously now I'm doing some dumbbell curls, as you can see on the screen here, but referring to the exercise a little while ago, those tricep pushdowns, I do think that they were fantastic and they were feeling really good. Obviously I did loads of sets on there, but just looking back at the footage in hindsight, I do think that my form could be improved a little bit there. So not in terms of just the reps, but kind of the way my body's positioned and where my shoulders, my scapula are. I think if I was just to drop the weight a little bit more, not just on one of those sets, but probably earlier on in the actual workout itself, which means that then the following sets would also probably be dropped. I think that would be probably better for my triceps, just in terms of like getting a few more reps with better form before just kind of straight away dropping it to some really kind of dirty, tough reps there. Because I think I was only getting probably like 5, 6, 7 reps, which is pretty low. It didn't hurt. It wasn't like causing pain in my joints, but just something which, looking back at, you know, they weren't even like the nicest reps, I'd say. So dropping the weight there would not have been a problem. And I think moving forward, looking at the footage a little bit earlier rather than so far in the distance, like it's been a while now, that will help my decisions moving forward. So yeah, in the next arm day, I'm going to give it a go super, super light and see if I can benefit from that style of training. But either way, going absolutely crazy to failure every single session, every single set, as you guys know.
Right, so next up I'm going to be going for a single arm tricep pushdown. Now, I actually took these out of my plan, or I kind of stopped doing them as frequently for a little period of time. Now that was 1, for a bit of variation, 2, I was just kind of getting bored of it, and 3, hit a plateau. So all relevant reasons to change if I can replace it with something else, which I added in many different exercises there. So I was doing some laying back on the bench, kind of coming over like that. I was going for many different versions of push downs, and then also was doing loads and loads of overhead press. So single arm, just with that extension, is different, but basically I was still covering like arm by my side, loads and loads of presses, just not single arm. So I do want to come back to it because, as I said, I was forced to use that hotel gym for a really long period of time, and basically just meant that I tried to do some stuff I haven't done in a while to mix things up. So added in the single arm, and what I noticed was from doing that the handle is great, but when I press that down, I think it engages a bit more of the side of my tricep, but because you can naturally like roll your kind of shoulder over, I think it works a little bit more of my front delt and potentially causes a little bit more discomfort in my front delt. So if I only had a rope, if I only had a handle, I'd still use it. It's not too uncomfortable. But what I did instead was, because many gyms don't just have like a single rope, I would wrap it round itself like that to make it a little bit shorter. Obviously, because if it's super long, I'd have to stop here. So I want to be able to go even further so we get a huge stretch coming up on the tricep. And this works really well. So if you guys are getting bored of using handles, or you don't have access to a handle, or they're all taken, and try this method instead. It works really well for me. And also you can use cuffs as well. So cuffs, which you can use for lateral raises, or women use them for kickbacks. Stand there like that, big press down. But already, just from kind of muscle memory, I'm wanting to twist my arm, but when I do this, I'm going to keep my hand neutral. So I'll pause the video here, and then we'll jump back in when I've found a good working weight. Right, so this might be a bit ambitious, but I do want to go heavy because triceps are so relaxed after that like crazy 4 sets of biceps. So they've recovered nicely, ready for this. We'll try this weight here. Got about just under half the stack, and I'm going to try for 8 reps. Assisted. One more. Oh, right. Whew. Yeah, a bit too ambitious, but still good. So we'll go right arm and then I'll drop it. I won't record the right arm because that angle didn't look great. So we'll pause it there and then jump back in for the lower weight second worker set. Actually, I changed mine, we'll go for it. Right arm, first set, 6 reps plus 2 partials. One more. Okay, that felt good, but perfect will be 1 lighter. So about a minute rest. Don't need too much rest in between these. If it was a really high rep set, like 15 reps on each arm, then I'd need a bit more to let my breath back. But yeah, we're good. And to be fair, left arm already feels pretty recovered. Right, let's drop it by 1, and then we should be able to get a lot more reps on this one. Partials assisted. Okay, right arm next. That was tougher than I thought, to be honest, but still feels good. Let's get this one going. Right, still a little bit too heavy, so gonna drop it by 1 again. I think that'll be the last set on tricep press downs. Thing is, I do want to finish on, it'd be nice to alternate, so do biceps now and then finish on triceps, just to keep that order going, but ultimately I want to finish on just some heavy standing alternating dumbbell curls. So I'm gonna 1 more set on here, and then probably 2 sets at least of overhead, and then finish on probably 2 sets of dumbbell curls. But yeah, we'll see how we get on.
All right, this is the last clip where the audio cuts out. So yeah, pretty much doing the triceps here. I was just thinking to myself how much I miss actually doing a tricep only day and a bicep only day. So I haven't been doing that in Thailand at all. In fact, I don't think I've done that other than in the hotel gym in Bangkok, which was over 2 months ago now. So yeah, I really miss doing that. I don't think I will be doing that on a cut because I just don't think it's that necessary. I can recover from arms so well, so that's not the problem at all. You know, for legs, for example, sometimes doing legs every 4 days can be tough because it's hard to recover that quickly. But for arms, I don't have that issue. It's more so I actually just want to focus on the individual muscle groups themselves. But it doesn't really make that much sense because they are probably slowly grown to be one of my stronger muscle groups. And also they are smaller muscle groups in comparison to the rest of your body, you know, like your back and your legs, they're much bigger. They kind of require a little bit more work, I would say. But then again, I would disagree in that sense a little bit because for me, arms, you can just do so many different exercises that it kind of just becomes something which, you know, can really take up a lot of time. And that's why I feel that if you're in a deficit, trying to do a long arm session just is so tiring, and you know, not just physically but mentally, because you have to go through many different ranges of motion, or at least I like to, and sometimes that just gets a bit too much. So even not so much for the time aspect, because I can take a fair bit of time in the gym, but just purely getting fatigued, you know, you get tired a lot quicker when you're in a deficit, and when you're in a bulk, it's a lot nicer to actually just continue through the workout with, you know, high carbs, high caffeine, etc. I haven't been having pre-workout while I've been here, but I have been having a fair bit of caffeine. Anyway, just something to think about. I may change my training when I start to bulk again and just treat myself to a few separate bicep and tricep days. But yeah, for now, I think I'm just going to keep the training the same because it is working well for the volume. And I do think that the mass on my arms has stayed even during my dieting phase. So yeah, that's great.
One more set on that, and then biceps to finish. All right, let's go. Rapid fire, same weight. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. God. Oh. Right, biceps, let's go. Okay, we've got like literally 5-10 minutes, so before we pose down, one last set, 30 kg. Let's make it happen. Let's go, boy. Go pose down. Okay, quick little pose down to round off the session in. So Didn't feel great, honestly. Like, it just didn't feel like a really nice session. Nothing really was flowing correctly. The exercises didn't feel bad, but they certainly didn't feel amazing, which sometimes does happen, you know. It doesn't have to be perfect every single time. Main thing is, kept pushing through, you know, didn't just obviously sack off the session and go home. Tried different movements, kept rotating, you know, adjusted the weight where necessary. I mean, I've achieved a good pump. It's just like, personally, subjectively, just didn't feel like the nicest executed arm session, if that makes any sense. But like I said, pump is feeling really good, so go for a few poses with the vest on. I don't know why right biceps looking so much more pumped up. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Strange. So I didn't actually weigh myself this morning, so I don't know exactly where I'm sitting at, but I don't think I've changed much since yesterday. So probably sitting at around 218 pounds. Lighting's still not great in here, unfortunately, but I'll make it work. That's a bit better. Could be the black background making it look more pumped, to be honest. I don't know though. Like, even my delt looks like it's cutting in more there. You tell me. Especially because I had those 2 toasties and the Gatorade and also the Nutella pancake thing. I thought it'd be a bit more pumped, but can't complain too much. Just more motivation to go harder next time. Let's get a quick back flex and double bicep from the back. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, overall, not a bad session at all. Got it done. It's been a good few days of workout so far here in Chiang Mai, but I'm definitely excited to try out some different gyms. Final thoughts for me, and kind of a note to myself, is that I haven't been doing enough cardio in the last few days because we haven't got a hotel gym and I've been getting free trials. I haven't been wanting to pay for like an extra session. I didn't know if they'd let me use it twice in a day, so I'm going to figure that out in the next couple of days and get back to it. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Tomorrow will be, or next video at least, if I don't rest tomorrow, I'll be doing legs, so see you for that one. Appreciate all the support, and as always, the only way's up.